everybody. Alright, so I'm back. The baby's been baked. Okay, with that second step was the blushing of the cheeks and ears for this kit. And the mottling. And the mottling was 1 layer dry, 2 layer dry, 3 layer dry, and then I baked the baby. And this is the result. So far we did the blue undertones, the veining, the cheek blushing, and the mottling. And I'm going to put the mottling up because I think it turned out pretty. Sorry, I'm getting notifications. Something. Probably Facebook. Okay. So now I'm going to do a skin wash, and then I'm going to do let me get me some sponges out so I can dab up the excess. Alright, there's some sponges. So I have a skin wash that I made. It's like Flesh 08 with the odorless paint thinner. I like to use Mona Lisa. But you can use whatever odorless paint thinner you want, and then I add just a little rosy pinkness to it, so it's not just so, and I just mop it on there. I'm gonna mop the skin tone over the mottling, and I'm kind of avoiding the blushing that I did. So that's a layer of skin tone, but I guess I could put it over it. Alright. So since I've got the skin tone on there, I'm going to dab up the excess so that it doesn't pool in the creasy areas. I'm going to dab it with a I just kind of like tore open a makeup sponge just to get the excess, and then I'm going to come in with I guess I'm getting notifications. I'm going to come in with a dry brush and get into the creases like the nose and mouth so that it just doesn't pool. I'm going to let that dry. That's this layer of pink skin tone. You can do it however you want to. This is going to be a little Caucasian baby, so I just add a little pinkness to the Flesh 08. So that's one wash. And I think really I'm kind of happy with the way the mottling turned out, the blue undertones. So I'm going to let the skin wash dry. And I'm probably going to come in here. I have this little setup here. I want to put a layer. These are my creasing and lips and it's a little palette that I make up of colors that I like for this type of baby. So I'm going to grab a couple brushes so I can apply the first layer of lip, because it's best to do the lips in layers. So I'm going to try and get in this red here so that I can get into the mouth. It's slightly open, so I'm going to put the red back into the mouth. This will be like the first little touch of red back there. While I'm waiting for that skin to dry. Fly. So I'm going to take a dry brush and blend it. Just try and put it in there. Sorry about the notifications. I don't know what's happening. I'm going to put a little bit of color on these lips just so I can start layering up the lips. Got those little sleepy, open mouth, delicate little lips. I'm going to put some paint in the nose since I need to layer that up too, because I want it to look like it has depth. I'm just going to start a little bit of purple tint on the eyelid here. Just to build it up. So this baby's slowly coming to life. Alright, so that skin tone is drying. I'm gonna let that skin tone dry, and while I'm letting that dry, I'm just gonna work on a little bit of the creasing colors. I'll put a little bit by this nose. Just highlight the shadow of the nose. It's just really delicate, you know, a little bit of layering. It just makes a little bit of a difference. Try and get a little more red into the mouth. Alright, so that skin tone has actually almost dried. And I think instead of baking that skin tone on there, I'm going to go ahead and just do a little yellow wash. Just to add a layer. I mean, you could technically bake the skin tone and then come do the yellow wash. This really, again, it's kind of like the blue undertones. It's a little bit of a, I like to get the nose real yellow. Underneath the mouth. It's just a little technique that adds a lot more realism. But again, if you don't be careful around the creases, you could end up with just pooling of the yellow. So I'm going to put the wash, I put the wash on there, and I'm going to go ahead and sponge it like I did the other one too, so it's not overwhelmingly yellow like jaundicey, but just a hint enough to kind of make it look real. I think you could follow the basic reborning and it makes the babies beautiful too, but I don't know, every little thing, it's just little details that are so subtle. If you're not painting the dolls, maybe you wouldn't even notice that they even were added to the process. So I think it just the skin tone, the mottling, the yellow. I could also go over it with an orange. I do an orange wash, a skin tone wash on the Caucasian babies. The ethnic babies, I do it a little bit differently. But see, this is the skin wash and yellow wash, and I kind of like the way that looks. So I'm gonna grab a mop brush and make sure I get behind the ears so that there's no pooling of the yellow. That's the problem with using the yellow, is that it will get into your creases and pool there, and then it's noticeable when you bake it. So I really kind of like the way that looks. I'm not sure if I want to go ahead and do an orange wash on this one, but this is my yellow wash. Let me show you my washes. And this is my orange wash, and then this is my skin tone. It's kind of a wash I do too. So I'm liking it with just the yellow. I don't know how well the camera can pick up the differences, but I'm looking at this baby and I can see the blue undertones, I can see the veining, the mottling, and the skin and yellow look of the baby is looking real. So this would be my third step, is kind of adding some color to the mottling and the kit, and then from there I will bake the baby and just do layers and layers of the details, the little details, until I find a level of look that I like. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish letting the yellow dry, since I let the skin wash dry, and then I'm going to work a tad more on, I can't do too much of the color layering because it's just, if I do too much it just doesn't look natural, kind of piles up. So I'm going to bake this baby at what I've done here as soon as it finishes drying, and then I'm going to come back and work on some more of the detailing. So, you know, everybody has their own techniques, but this is just to get you started on something a little different than the 8 set. You get those little paint starter sets with 8 things, and then you just kind of go through your own class where you just do the skin, you do the veining, you do the skin wash, then you do blushing, and then you do creasing, and kind of alternate between creasing and blushing. And so right now I'm happy with this baby's head. I'm going to add some creasing. It just kind of like highlights the the way the sculptor designed the kit. They have natural creases. You don't have to paint every single crease, but you know, since this is just a head, I'm gonna go ahead and work on some of these. So I just kind of, it's that wet dry system. I go in with a wet brush, and then I blend with a dry brush or a makeup sponge to kind of get the look that I'm looking for. And I don't do a set color on my creases. I kind of just get a feel for the kit and what I'm looking for. Sometimes I'll do more purple creases, sometimes I'll do more blushy creases, sometimes I'll do more red creases. And this is what I'm feeling for today, so these are the creases that I'm working with. But I hope that you are kind of enjoying the process that I do with my dolls. It's not set for every single doll, but it'll give you a general mapping of what I like to work with. So you can still see the veins coming through. I can. I don't know how well the camera picks up on detail, but the mottling looks really good. The veining looks really good. I really like the way the skin wash and the yellow wash made the baby pop. And so I'm just going to let this baby dry, bake the baby, and then from here on out I'm going to be working on the details, which will be creasing and highlighting the baby's features.